9 years ago, I was stuck. I had just had my last son at that time and I was on maternity leave. And I just sort of lost every ounce of enthusiasm to go back to work. I've always had a beautiful career, trust me. I was growing, getting promoted, I was achieving, but deep down, I wasn't just content. I just knew something was missing. And I was thinking at that time, am I going to walk back into the same old routine, like, just simply going through the motions? I was doing everything right, to be honest. I was ticking the boxes, but somehow it didn't just feel like I was getting enough out of life. One day I looked at myself in the mirror and said, so this is it. Is this the best version of yourself? And I answered the question. It was a clear no. I knew there was more for me out there. I knew there was more I could achieve, more I could become. And I knew that I had to create that change for myself. Nobody was going to do it for me. And I just sort of wasn't getting what I wanted. So I started this journey of rebranding my life. So if you're feeling stuck or you're unsure or you're just looking for a way to level up by year 2025, you want to create a change for yourself, then this video is for you. I would share with you 5 ways that you can rebrand your life and create that change that you really want to see. The first one, you have to get clear on what you really want. Before you go about saying, I want to rebrand my life, you have to be crystal clear on what you really want. It is not what society tells you you should want. It's not what your friends think, what your family think you should pursue, but what truly makes you come alive, what lifts you up. Because I believe the secret to rebranding your life lies in understanding your own desires and the life you want to create for yourself, not what they expect from you, not what friends and family expect from you. For me at the time, I realized it wasn't just about climbing the corporate ladder. It was more. And to be honest with you, climbing the corporate ladder is a familiar territory. It offered me some stability, but it didn't just set my soul on fire. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that I didn't just want to be here just for the sake of growing in my career and then get to a point where I feel
I should have done more.
I wanted to build something that mattered. I wanted something that aligned with my passion, something that gave me the freedom to live the life that I want on my own terms. I wanted to feel a sense of purpose every single day, not just going through the motions. And here's the catch. I first needed to figure out what exactly that life looked like. What did it mean to feel fulfilled? What were the things that truly made me happy? And more importantly, who did I need to become to create that life or that kind of life that I want? I started by writing out a list. I wrote down everything I wanted, the experiences, the impact I wanted to have, the way I wanted to feel on a daily basis. I even listed the type of person I needed to become, to make it all happen. And I asked myself tough questions like, what kind of legacy do I want to leave? How do I want to spend my time? How do I want to spend my old age? What brings me joy? What makes me feel truly alive? And when I was doing this exercise, I gave myself permission to dream big. I always say I cannot afford to settle for the safe path. I know that the path that I was going to choose at that point was going to be different from the path I've always taken. And I wasn't ready to let that stop me. I wasn't ready to play it safe. I wasn't ready to say, you know what, I will just keep it simple. I went bold and I went, at some point it started scaring me what I was wanting for myself. But that was at that time what I knew would give me that maximum satisfaction. So I would advise dream big, dream bigger than you thought possible and be specific about what that life you want looks like. Think about your life in the next 3 years. What if you weren't afraid? What if you went after every dream? What if you go for it without hindrances? No matter how far you think it is, just write it down, envision it, let your imagination run wild, make a big list. If you're feeling unsure about what you want, take some time to reflect. Try journaling. That helps a lot. Visualize what your future could look like and pay attention to the things that light you up from inside. The answers will come when you take the time to really ask, what do I want? And not what's expected of me. The key to rebranding your life is getting clear on your purpose and your desires. Don't be afraid to be specific. What's going to make me excited? What am I going to look up to every morning when I wake up? You should start from there. And one thing I always say is that clarity is power. Once you know exactly what you want, once you know where you're going, it's easier to start asking for help and then, moving on that journey that you want. Every decision you make becomes easier, and then you start to see the path ahead of you unfold. And then the second one, you have to own your narratives. In 2025, it has to be about what you want. You have to own your story. Every one of us faces challenges, setbacks, doubt, failures, and these moments often leave scars. But the truth is, they also shape you and they don't define you. You have the power to define yourself. It's what you want, define it. You're the author of your own life, and it's time to take the pen back. You have to write your own story. For a long time, I struggled with guilt. I felt I had not done enough in certain areas of my life, but then I realized life doesn't have a prescribed timeline. There is no universal formula for success. Everyone's journey is different. I will get there when I get there, and that's what I say now. I had to stop feeling guilty at some point about what I had not done yet, and I started focusing on what can I do now? What is right before me? I had to let go of the what ifs, could have been, and all the what can I do now? And then I just seized the opportunity. Don't let anything hold you back. You do not need permission to do the right thing. You do not need permission to write your own story. I remember a very senior colleague of mine, Danny, once said to me, you don't need permission to do the right things. So long as it's the right thing and it's what makes you happy, go for it. And for me, that shift in mindset was game changing. I started to take full ownership of every decision, every choice, every action. I started to see myself in the future that I wanted, the future that I have defined for myself. And that sort of help shaped me into who I am becoming now. No one should dictate your narrative.
You write your own stories.
And it is more than setbacks and challenges and all those things you've gone through. It's about how you bounce back, how you rise stronger after every fall. It's about what's your vision for yourself, what's your vision for your life. It's about the steps you're taking to make it a reality. And that's where your true power lies, in the decision to own it fully and unapologetically. So stop comparing your journey to someone else's journey. It doesn't make sense. It's very easy to get caught up in the lives of others, their successes, their achievements, but your path is unique. And in 2025, you have to recognize this. Embrace your past, no matter the mistakes, because they've brought you to where you are today, but don't get stuck there. You have to define and own your future. The person you're becoming is far more important than the person that you were. Share your story with others and don't let it just be success stories. Share your struggles. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. When you open up about your journey, you create space for others to do the same, and you inspire them also to reclaim their own narrative as well. And they are also able to step into their power. So own your story. It's yours. Don't let anyone else hold the pen when your story is being written. You should hold your story. And this takes me to the third one. If you really want to grow in 2025 and you want to make, significant changes to your life, you have to invest in your growth. You have to invest in yourself. And that means putting your time, your energy, your resources into things that would help you grow. Whether it is reading more, whether it is taking courses, finding a mentor, finding a coach, starting a side hustle, whatever it is, you have to view your personal development as the most important investment you can make. Your mind is your greatest asset. If you nurture it, everything around you, your relationship, your career, your finances, everything starts to shift for the better. I'll never forget the moment I decided to take a major leap in my life and invest in myself. I was in a place where I felt I needed more than the conventional knowledge I had. So I sought out a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner training. And at the time, it was super expensive. And if I compare it to now, it was cheap. At that time, I felt it was super expensive. I think I missed it for the first year. I think it was around, I can't remember, maybe 400,000 Naira. And I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I'll wait for the following year. I think the following year it became 550,000. And I said, you know what? I have to do it because this is going to get to 1,000,000. And the first time I read about NLP was in Anthony Robbins' book, Awaken the Giant Within. It described it in a way that I knew I needed it. I knew I needed to connect with myself. I needed to connect with my mental models. And I said, I'm going to invest. I'm going to do this for myself. I'm very happy that I did it. I invested and I went through it with Coach Rajiv, and it was a brilliant experience. The tools and techniques I learned during that training helped me to communicate more effectively, helped me to break down my mental barriers and sort of approach challenges with a fresh perspective. The world is not against me. That investment in my growth didn't just help me personally, it helped me to level up faster than I ever imagined. And it opened doors of opportunities that I didn't even know existed. And I started pushing myself past, limitations I had earlier set for myself. There is nothing like Adebola cannot do it. I can do it. I would struggle, but I'll still do it. And another thing I have invested so much in recent years is books. I have been reading copiously and it has really helped me. I remember at the time my son joked that if I didn't have a room full of books, I would have been richer. That made me laugh. But for me, it's actually the opposite. I think investing in books is like investing in my future. Every book is a doorway to new ideas, new perspectives, new opportunities. You cannot imagine how I jot and scribble in books that I read. And some ideas are actually from the books that I read. So for me, books are worth far more than any material possession. So find knowledge, invest in your knowledge, invest in your skills, invest in your mindset. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start investing in yourself. 2025 is the time. There will never be a perfect time. So just start small if you have to, but start. Every step that you take would compound over time and starts to pay dividend far beyond what you can imagine. Whether it is reading a new book, signing up for a course, or learning a new skill, don't wait. Your future self will definitely thank you for it. So in 2025, you want to create a massive change for yourself, invest in yourself. And then the fourth one, you have to pick one keystone habit. When it comes to rebranding your life and leveling up, sometimes the key isn't doing more or a lot of things. It's doing one thing really well. And that's what you call keystone habits. It is a single habit that has the power to create a ripple effect in your life. It's just one habit, but if you focus on it, naturally it will lead to positive changes without you feeling like you're overwhelming yourself. And for me, it was something really simple, but transformative. I was committed for a very long time to a daily morning routine. It wasn't just about, I want to change everything. No. I just chose my morning routine and I said to myself, if I get this right in the morning, it will set the tone for everything that would follow. When I start my days with intentionality, whether it is reading my Quran, journaling, or just reading a few pages of a book that I am crazy about at that time, or even avoiding breakfast, that one messes up my productivity big time. This routine sort of just create foundation for the rest of the day. I feel more grounded. I feel more on top of things. I feel more focused. I'm more energized. So you have to take one keystone habit, and trust me, it will spill over into other areas of your life. If you start your day with purpose, you will find yourself making better decisions throughout the day. You'll be more productive. You would even find time for self-care. You have time for family. Just stick to a routine. And I must tell you, it's not going to be an overnight change, but you see the cumulative effect of this one habit will be so profound that you wouldn't believe it. I know Anthony Robbins once said, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. The truth in this statement is that one habit, whether positive or negative, affects everything in your life. Everything. By focusing on just one keystone habit, you can begin to create that chain reaction that can transform your entire routine and transform your entire mindset. So pick one keystone habit. It doesn't even have to be perfect. Just make sure you're consistent and you understand that it would create for you one positive change, and with that one, you can drive multiple benefits in other areas of your life. Keep it very simple. Very simple. Define that habit and you'll be setting yourself up for a very massive transformation. Your keystone habit could be something as simple as journaling in the morning, taking a walk in the morning, drinking more water, setting aside time to read. Just pick one thing and make it non-negotiable. Then number 5. This is critical. You have to build a system for success. It's not just about motivation. I'm sure at this point now you're motivated, you want something else for yourself, you want to define your life, you want to create a change in 2025. Trust me, it doesn't end with motivation and big dreams. It's about creating systems and routines that would consistently support you, propel you towards your goals. I'm not saying motivation is not important, it is, but let's face it, it doesn't last forever. To level up by 2025, you need more than just a burst of inspiration. You need solid foundation of action, structure, and consistency. I realized that despite having big dreams and a vision for where I wanted to go in life, without a system, all of it would remain just that, a dream. I needed a structure, like a blueprint that would guide me day by day towards my goal. And that was what birthed my goal book. This is a journal I created 8 years now, which has helped me not only to focus on my career growth, but on other areas of life that mattered to me. For example, finances, wellness, personal development, business. Each of these areas needed intentionality, not just vague aspirations. So what I did was I created the goal book, and it all started from using A4 paper. I stapled together a couple of A4 paper and broke down each goal into small actionable steps. I didn't just say I want to be healthier. I created a specific health routine. For example, I reduced my coffee intake. I included exercise in there. And I didn't also just say, I want to grow my business. I mapped out, what business do I want to do? How do I get the ideas? How do I filter the ideas? And I continue to track this on a weekly basis. Since this 7-8 years, I've been printing and commercializing this goal-setting journal every year. I have copies on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description box. And if you're in Nigeria, you can get yours at Vogue and Word Bookshop. They deliver nationwide. Without a system, even the best ideas will remain just that, ideas. You can have all the aspirations, you can have all the dreams, all the desires, but you need a roadmap. You need something that would help you continue to stay, in track, that would continue to ensure that you are not deviating from the plan that you have set for yourself. You have to design the system. This system also has to align with your personal rhythm. It has to align with your priorities and, of course, with your lifestyle. It would give you some sort of structure that would help you move forward, even on days when you really don't feel motivated to do anything. We've all got those days. We've got those days we don't want to do anything. But just looking at my goal book and looking at the things that I needed to achieve, I just sort of get up and go and do it. So, number 6, prioritize balance. I don't joke with this. In the pursuit of success, it is very easy to become super consumed by the hustle. That drive to achieve more, to be more, to do more. But the truth is, if you're only focused on the destination, where you're going to, you will miss the beauty of life along the way. Yeah, I know you want to level up in 2025. The real growth doesn't come from running yourself into the ground. It comes from creating balance. You have to balance work with health, with relationship, with personal time. If you're constantly burning out, you won't be leveling up. You'll be exhausting yourself. I learned this the hard way. I was super focused on achieving my goals, checking off my to-do list, climbing the ladder. I completely lost sight of the importance of balance. I think I'm at that point in my life now that as much as I want to create something, I want to leave a positive footprint, I also don't want to burn my candle at both ends. I don't want to punish myself by going so hard. I want to listen to my body because I know that this balance creates success for me. It's not just about winning in career and business. It's about winning in life generally. I want to make sure I'm not just surviving. I want to thrive. So this is a wake-up call for us all to not sacrifice our health or our relationships or our happiness for the sake of success. You have to learn to create that balance. And that's why the goal book has something around relationship goals, something around family goals, something around health goals, spiritual goals. It is very important that we create that balance. You see, when I started creating balance in my life, everything shifted. I became more focused, more energized, and more present in every area of my life. I realized that when you have that balance, you thrive. You have the energy, you have the mental clarity to pursue your goals with purpose while also enjoying along the way, because you're taking care of things that needs your attention as you go along. So my advice, you have to assess your life and evaluate whether you're creating enough space for rest, fun, meaningful connections, or work and no play makes life boring. So in the new year, make time for what matters the most and create a balance between your ambitions and your well-being, and you will thrive. You will not only thrive, you will also give those around you permission to thrive. So there you have it. Those are my 6 ways that you can use to rebrand your life and level up in year 2025. It's another year and we have to make it count. You have to get clear on what you want, hone your narrative irrespective of your past, invest in your growth, build systems for success, and prioritize balance. I look forward to your transformation. And remember, the best version of you is waiting. If you have found this video helpful, you would also like my video on how to avoid the pains of regret in life and in career. So I'll see you in the next video.